Kuzuzangpola, my name is Thai and I'm here with my boy Hudson. Today we're at Sangyegang because we're about to start a very interesting journey called Plogging Bhutan, starting from Sangyegang to Wanditse. But before we start, I would like to show you what's in my bag. So let's see. Water, of course. I carry a scarf because you never know what you might need to tie, a broken arm or any limb. My car keys, some anti-allergies because I have eczema, so I never know what might trigger my allergy. Then, Hudson. Okay. What else do I have? Oh, since this is Plogging Bhutan, I need to carry trash along the way, so I brought my trusty jute bag, gloves for my eczema again, and whenever I go for my walks, I like to take shots of time lapse of landscapes, of people. So I have my own gimbal, and this is the tripod for the gimbal, so I can give like a more fixed shot. It's not much, but it does the job. And then what else do I have? I've had this for about 10 years. This is a solar powered light, so you know, if in case I get stuck, because you never know how adventurous your walk could be, so this is my trusty light. All right, it even gives SOS signals, you know, in case. And that's about it. Oh no, I have I'm very cautious driven, so I have a pepper spray. You never know who you might meet. And band-aids. My stones. They're protection stones. This one's black, this one is smoky quartz, so apparently it keeps evil things off of you. So that's it, I am all protected. I have a mission for today to pick up plastic on my way to Wanditse. So that's everything I have in my bag. Now let's get started. But before we start, as you might have noticed, there's already a plastic can. So that goes in my trusty bag. Come on, Hudson. There's one more here. Hudson Gume. Okay. Let's go start picking plastic. Come on. Let's do this. So, couldn't find a lot of trash on the way, which is a good sign. Did find some plastic bottles and bottle caps and tissue paper, but not that much, so that was quite a good sign. I've come to Sangyegang before, but not really paid attention to the trash lying around, but today I saw it and it's not so bad. But let's see what happens on the way to Wanditse. All right, Hudson. So in preparation for Plogging Bhutan, I did a little bit of research and I found out that the term plogging actually comes from two Swedish words, ploggia and yoggia. Ploggia meaning to pick and yoggia meaning to jog. So picking up plastics while you jog. And then of course globally it became known as plogging, meaning exactly what it's saying, picking up plastic while you jog. It was actually founded by a man called Eric Alstrom. He is a very outdoorsy man, he loves nature, is very adventure driven, and when he moved to Stockholm he saw all the plastic in the urban city, and it really disturbed him, and he wanted to do something about it. And so he started picking plastics wherever he went on his jogs and walks. And then it became like a phenomenon in Europe, which spread to US and even Asia. And one of the interesting things that I read was that they actually did a plogging activity all the way from New York to Alaska. So that is amazing. And as the founder himself said, it's like a treasure hunt while you keep healthy and keep your space around you clean. So I think it's a very nice way of examining and understanding your relationship between you and nature, you and your health, and you and yourself. And I think it strikes a perfect balance. Today, Hudson? Come on, let's go. I think people in Bhutan might not know the word plogging, but I think people do pick up plastics as they jog or walk, because I walk a lot with my Hudson boy and my husband. We go for a lot of treks and mini treks, and not all the times, but most of the times we'll see some young people or some old people walking or trekking and on their bicycle, and then they have this plastic bag that they fill with the trash they found along the way. So I think even if they're not aware of the word, but I think by action they are doing it, which is very nice to see, you know, because it's nice to know that people are aware of their surroundings, of their contribution to our planet. I think more than ever, people are aware of the big plastic problem that we're facing. The landfills that are really spewing out. But even though the landfills are so packed, a lot of garbage doesn't even reach the landfills. So in our way, what we can do is try to make sure that our garbage reaches the landfills. I think that's the least we can do. And I hope today Hudson and I are able to do our part. String that is very stubborn. Okay, we got it. Do I think there's a trash problem in Bhutan? I think for a small country, we may have a trash problem, and I think that's primarily because during our parents' generation, we didn't have that much of plastic products, so everything came from nature and went to nature. So we didn't really need this type of segregation of waste. And but now with our generation, there's so much plastic products, and we have still not found a way to take care of our plastics. So I think it's not about the amount of plastics, but I think it's about us not being able to find a way to take care of our plastics, actually. Good boy. 저게 쇼. Plastic 저게 쇼. Mehmet, that's not plastic. Come on, boy. All right, Hudson, come on. Come on. Oh, Hudson, wait. Tasha, can you see the Buddha? Such a nice spot. Himbe. Birds are singing. Nice green forest. But this is not our spot. Our rest stop is miles to go right now. Come on, let's go. Let's go, baby boy. Come on, let's go. Hudson, we're finally here at the rest spot. Come on, Hudson. Ooh, it's a little high. Come on. Okay, let's keep my bag down. View is nice, but it's a little challenging to sit on. It's a little higher than I anticipated. Yeah. Okay. Nice. My fondest childhood memory is traveling with my father, collecting stories on the way. We would reach home and then he would have his tape recorder whizzing and the room would fill with stories and he would be writing furiously in his beautiful Dzongkha handwriting. And I know I am his pet, and some may call me bratty, but I was definitely his pet and I was a curious child. I remember climbing mango trees and I had so many questions for him, but he was always patient, and even if he didn't have the answers to all my questions, he definitely had stories for me. And I think it's this influence of storytelling from him. He's a folktale writer. But yeah, I think storytelling came to me from him. I always wanted to be a writer like him, but as I grew up, I adapted and my form of storytelling became audiovisual. I joined BBS in 2009, and in BBS I was assigned into the youth unit and I was tasked with making youth programs that were interactive and fun. And the first program I made, I remember still, I wanted to make on youth unemployment. But I didn't want it to be a group of adults discussing about youth issues. I wanted it to be a positive, short documentary on proactive youth doing something about unemployment, and that's why I covered Karma Jerry. I think he's very successful in the film industry now, and Yuang Selden, who's a successful anchor at BBS. So I covered them. I made a 7-minute documentary which went into Pre-Juniors Film Festival. So that was very rewarding. And I think the second workshop that I experienced in BBS, we were asked to make again some kind of youth shows, and I blended my love for travel and stories from my father and my own passion, and I came up with this new series called the Najin Express Travelogue. Sange Chofel was an intern in BBS at that time. He was making some program on city corporation, and I saw him and I was like, I want him to be my presenter, because I was very shy back then. I couldn't come in front of the camera. Now much wiser and have embraced myself. But yeah, so I wanted to anchor, and I saw him and I really wanted him to be my anchor. We did a pilot episode with him. My office really liked the series. So then it got greenlit, and then we started filming Najin Express Travelogue. Thanks to BBS, I've traveled to many different places in Bhutan, making my Najin Express Travelogue. I call it my child. I don't have a kid myself, so my child is Najin Express Travelogue and my Hudson. But yeah, through Najin Express Travelogue, I really got to travel to many different places like Merak Sakting and Dorokha. I even went to Ladakh because I got some funding from somewhere. And it's been an adventure, and I've always loved nature. With my father, I remember when we used to travel, because we used to live in Gelifu and sometimes we used to come to Thimphu, and when we used to do these road trips, and those days the roads were really narrow and it was very precarious, but I wasn't looking at the cliffs below. I was always looking at the, you know, the screen of the car, the window, and I would imagine it was a TV and I was watching a movie. I think those are my favorite childhood memories, and I think that's how I've connected to nature. I think nature is amazing. I think nature is a great teacher, a great healer, and if we sit down and reflect on who we are and what we are doing to contribute to nature, I think we would all stand to benefit from it. And I am at this beautiful spot right now. We're almost halfway there, taking a break, but going to start towards Wanditse in a while. Oh, puppy Jack, I'm sorry. So it's getting a little late, better to start our journey now. What I do at home to take care of plastics, I have to be honest, I don't do an awful lot, I think, but I do feel bad in using a lot of plastic products, so I make sure that I take my hot flask wherever I go, so I don't have to use plastic cups and paper cups for coffee and tea and such things. I also do a lot of DIY stuff, so my parents and my husband might say that I'm a hoarder, but I do collect a lot of, you know, those even those strings that you get with that tie your egg trays. I hold on to them, and then you never know when you might need them, and you don't have to buy plastic threads separately. And even my flower containers are from plastic bottles and those oil containers. I don't throw away too many things. I reuse a lot of things, like my coffee bottles. I use it for pickling and jams. So I do a lot of DIY stuff. I think that's very simple, basic things that you can do that can maybe in a very small way help in curbing our plastic problem. So we made it almost to Wanditse. Not much plastic on the way, which I'm glad about, because that means people are not littering. So I'm very happy about that. It's getting a little dark, but no worries. Okay, so what has changed in since my childhood? I think since my childhood, I have realized that balancing your life is very important, because most of us try to do a lot of different things at the same time. We want to be a good daughter, we want to be good at what we do at our work, we want to be a good friend, we want to be a good brother, sister, and then, you know, you have your home obligations and you have your career and you have so many things that is pulling you in all different directions with equal intensity, and you're trying to be there for everything at the same time, and it can get a little overwhelming and it can get a little frustrating, and we sometimes forget to take care of ourselves. And that's when you need to realize that if you are not healthy, if you're not well yourself, then you cannot help somebody else. I think this is something that I've realized, because as a kid, when I was growing up, I didn't realize that life could be so complicated. It's not that you have a lot of issues, but still life just pulls you in different directions. So I think all of us need to take out some time, go into nature, explore the surroundings around you, explore yourself. Who are you? How have you contributed? Are you happy with yourself? And try to find out what brings you happiness and pursue it, because when you are happy, you can make people around you happy. I think this is one thing that I've learned as I've grown up. What do I do with my free time? I think what I do during my free time is pretty much the same. My husband's also a filmmaker and I also work in BBS, so most of the times we are traveling to different places and we are filming. I'm filming with my BBS crew. I have my handy gimbal and I'm making stories. So it's not just a job for me. When I make a program, when I make a documentary, it's not just a job for me. I do it because I want to tell that story. So when I go to a place, nobody has to tell me, oh, take out the camera. I'm instantly there with my camera. Nobody has to tell me, interview that person. I'm already talking to that person. I'm trying to understand that person. So as boring as it might sound to some people, during my free time, what I would love to do and what I do, I'm blessed and lucky to have my passion as my work. What I do is travel, film, make stories, and that's what I do during my free time. So as you guys can see, we made it to Wandite. Not much plastic on the way, so much so that I even got the chance to use my little gimbal and make some footages. Okay, so what would be one superpower that I would want? I think because I travel a lot, I walk a lot. My husband's a very good walker, but I am too. But as the age gets on, you tire out a little bit. So if I could choose a superpower, I would definitely want to not get tired and be able to climb and climb and climb and not get tired and outdo the horses. And when I reach there, not have cramps on my legs and be ready to shoot and interview and basically have a really, really good walking stamina. That's what I would want as a superpower. So my experience with Plogging Bhutan, it was a unique experience. I've done this trail many times, but never like this. At times it was a little frustrating with my Hudson, who is very enthusiastic and strong, and I have to really rein him in. But there was not much trash on the way, thankfully, as you can see. Quite light. That means people are not littering that much, or if they are, then there are people picking it up. So that's a good sign. My message, I would like to tell people to go into nature, take time for yourself, heal the place that you live around, because we will all be at a better place if we're all healthier and happier. And Plogging Bhutan is a very unique, but I think more than unique, I think it's a very interesting and very productive exercise, because you're not just taking care of your health, you're not just caring for the environment around you, but you're also connecting with nature, which is very important, I think. I think I have to thank the crew behind the camera. We have 2 cameramen and 1 sound man, and our producer who helped me with Hudson, who helped me with some of the trash. I think teamwork makes the dream work. So when you guys go for the next picnic, when you guys go for your next adventure, make sure that you collect your trash and leave the place more beautiful than you found it. I would like to pledge, and I hope I can hold on to it. I intend to, that whenever I go for my trips, whenever I go for my adventures, I will always try to pick up trash, and I will always try to spread the word of plogging, because it's a very worthwhile exercise, like I said. So I would like to pledge that I would be a better Bhutanese citizen and the citizen of the world.